Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have two Marine ECM, this time coming from Puerto Rico. Angel, these are your computers, so I'm going to do a test just briefly before we start. I'm going to let you know what we're doing here. So he has a concern from both modules saying they have no communication. He said that he sent this to someone else and they sent the computer back saying that they're fine. So I said, like, if this has a smart craft gauges and there is no communication with it. So I'm like, well, I'm very familiar. I have repaired, probably over 1,000 of these units, and I know exactly what to do and how to test them. But let's do the test here. So let's do the connections. Give me just 1 second to establish my connection to my iPad so I don't lose what you're seeing. As I normally do, I created a folder, even though it's very minimal information. I always do a folder for each customer. This is one of the computers connected. I got the other one in here, and this is his paperwork, which you cannot read from that distance, so I'm going to keep it in there. I just want to cover a little bit of his name in there and to keep the other module there. Let's go over the folder. So I take a picture of the two modules so we can see the part numbers, so all of you and him will be able to see the part numbers on the computers. There's ours. These computers are, the family is a PCM BE0101. This is one of the oldest ones. It's like a second generation on Motorola computers for these engines. It's a 200 DFI. It could be an Optimax or so. It doesn't say much. It just says 200 DFI. Looking at the information he sent, well, we can actually go into the next one. You can see that both part numbers, they change, even though the families and everything is almost the same. The fabrication date on one is 0309-2001, the other one 0315-2001, and then the part number changes, BDO1KG01, and the other one is a BDO1JHB1. The calibration, they have different levels of calibrations. One has A59610 R72, and the other one is A59610 R93. So this 93 is a little newer calibration, and probably because that little difference in there, it has a newer calibration. This is just a close-up of that. A lot of, dielectric grease. I want to emphasize that a little bit. It's the misconception to think that the dielectric grease improves connectivity. Is no. It's actually the opposite. Dielectric grease, all it is silicone grease. And all that it does is repels moisture, water. But it's really, really bad for connectivity. So if you have that in the front of the connector, it's no good. You want to put that on the side where the rubber gasket is, because that silicone grease is good in rubber. It doesn't hurt the rubber. It actually lubricates it, and it doesn't damage. So when you're installing an O-ring or a gasket and you put a little bit of a silicone grease on the gasket, is good for it, for like sun roofs and stuff like that. That's the grease we use, because you clean whatever old grease in there and you put silicone grease, because it does not affect gaskets, but it's not electrical conductive. It's actually the opposite. So yes, the pins are okay, but there is a lot of dielectric grease in there, which is no good. It will help prevent the water to enter. So as long as it's not inside the terminals and the connector, if it's in there, I just see there is a lot. I just want to put that out there. All right, so again, Angel from Las Piedras, Puerto Rico. It says the PCM1 with the R72, and I'm just going to call them R72 and R70 and R93. Let me actually mark him in here. So this is going to be the R93, the one I'm having connected, 93, and this is the R72. And that would keep those numbers for the testing. And as you can see, it says no communication, ECU failure. Again, he called me this morning, and I said, I will probably be testing your computers. I'm trying to help Puerto Rico as much as I can, but till the afternoon. So this is all I have as far as that. So let's go back to here, and let me put the diagram, which I have open. Let me see, where is that? Right here. Yes, you can see that well. And I need to open another one. Yeah, perfect. So you can see, I will try first to establish communication. Actually, I'm going to put the view here. And the reason I'm doing that is I want you to see what is about to happen. So when I turn this computer on, I have my simulator, battery positive, and ignition in here, and also the start button, like when you start the engine, right? But when I turn the ignition on, we should see the main power relay, and this light here, where all these white stickers are, they have a meaning for this computer. So they all should light up, especially this one, which is the one that we should see more. So again, battery and ignition, I got no main power relay and no fuel pump, or in this case, for this one is the output for the oil pump. Nothing in there. So that is a strike one. And just now try to establish communication. I want you to see that now they just came on. You see right here, main power and the output for that, and it's cycling. This is exactly the concern. I am very familiar. I can repair this computer 100%. That is, we can see no communication, and we can see these lights cycling by itself. You see? Let's see if it happens again. You see right there? I think I got my fingers right there. You can see it cycling. So the R93, I'm reproducing your concern 100%. So this is, again, not running, no communication. So I'm going to power this one off. I'm going to move you here so you can see me unplugging the wires of this, the connectors, because these are the original harness connectors. I'm going to put the R93 there, and I'm going to put the R72 now in my connection. And I have not connected these ones prior to start the video, so I'm doing this with you guys as well. All right, so let's move you over to here. I'm going to exit that view that you have in there and then put into the selection you're going to see popping up in a second. This is where I select, these are outboards. So I'm in the outboard section of Diacom Rinda. This is a laptop of Windows-based software, which is great because you have a lot of, you can record all the information, save it in your computer. This is really good software for this computer. So, all right, so let's power this one up. Same thing, no main power relay and no output in here. Let's see if this one cycles. Yep. Exactly the same thing, right? I'm an expert in these computers. I know he was trying to explain me the whole thing. I'm like, you know what? And I think it's better if I just, with a clear mind, just to understand that you have no communication, I start doing my own test, because otherwise, if I start picking up where you think it might be, I might go a different route and then it lead me to a wrong testing. So I like to follow my own procedures, A, B, C, D. And then if the A, B, C, D passes, then I contact you. But we can see here it's the same thing. You see the lights are now on. It's exactly what I'm saying. So this is definitely no, I will have no communication whatsoever here, most likely. Let's see. Same thing. ECM is not responding, or the cable is not plugged in. All right, so guys, this is it. This is the test, 100%. So I'm going to fix one and leave the other one untouched, so you can see one working, because I need to make sure that he's okay with the cost of the repairs prior to jumping the gun. But I also want to make you and him understand that on a case like this, when you have a dead computer, there is no repair attempt, or I can tell you, okay, this is going to cost you this much because I need to fix the computer. So the only way that I can find out for sure if this can be fixed is fixing it. It's not like, oh, you have a bad injector driver, I can replace that, open the computer, yes, burned, or it has a hole through the board, it cannot be repaired. This is more in-depth than that, because this is a cycling situation. This is mostly corrupted information, or not corrupted information, a corrupted voltage that it damaged the internal information on the microprocessor and circuits that it creates this situation. But low voltages, no good for boats, especially on these outboards. they get so down into zero, and people goes and try to start it with like a completely dead battery. The battery is already at 7 volts, and when you crank, it moves the starter, and the battery voltage goes down to like 3 volts or so. Information gets corrupted, and then now the computer doesn't start up. And it's age. It could be also due to age on the component. So when I open a computer like this, I do my normal repairs, voltage regulator, capacitors, diodes, etc., and then the secret sauce, which corrects the situation, and then I go there. So, but let me contact him, make sure that everything is fine, and I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, as I mentioned, I got one open and fixed. Let's do the test so I can show you one running, and then the other one is still not running because it's even not open. But I want to have one running so I can unplug this one and then connect the one that's not working, so you can see that it's not that I did anything. Because I always like to be completely transparent, leave no doubts for my customers, especially when they're across an ocean. They can be like, no, everything has to be tested 100%. All right, so let's, well, we can actually keep it here. So let me put the diagram and the other view that we have. I'm going to, first than anything, turn this on. I want you to see the main power relay is on and goes off. And this light should sometimes come on or not, but I think it's only when it's running. But we saw the main power relay coming on in there. You're going to say, well, it's off. Is that bad? No. Let me just show you now. Because no longer cycling. Remember that cycling on and off, and your time is like a blink of an eye, and mine is not. So I'm going to do the same selection. I'm in the outer boards, and then the smart craft. So let's select that, and we can see immediately. All right. So I'm going to connect. Let's go over to fault codes. I want to read the history because we can do with the diagram a lot more than what a TechMate will do. This is almost as good as the factory diagnostics on these boats. I want to see what we can see in history, see how many hours on these computers are. It has 122.48. I can see the rest of the hours from RPMs, because this is history per different RPMs, right? So we have from 0 to 750, 235 hours, 750 to 1591, and so on. You can see where he stays most is in idle and in 3000 to 4000. The rest, yes, he has some hours, but out of 822, not much. We got a starboard climb overheat and low oil reserve. So those are things that he's going to have to check. But we can see based on these last hours, 822.48, what was here, what was not. So we got injection open. And these could have possibly happening here because it's like a 1 minute in here. So sometimes that last minute. So I'm going to disregard that one. Reservoir oil, low. I'm looking for something very important, like like a short to something, or Peter of those I can disregard. Starboard climb overheat, 822.47. So might not be there, might be possible here. Again, when I was doing the connection and changing the values on my sensors in there. Let me see what else we got. Starboard customer. Well, since this was not running, probably it had erased the history as far as fault codes that I cannot, because you see all of the hours. I'm going fast, but this is what I'm looking at. The hours of each of those faults. And yes, everything looks like it's pretty much in here. So I can really disregard those fault codes. All right, so let's run it, right? So does it run? I got all the injectors, all the coils, all the direct injectors. I have right now 75% power, and this is probably because I don't have all the signals in here, but the computer is running. I have good communication, and the computer is running. So I'm going to just turn this one off. And this is the reason you're going to see where we start losing the communication. In a second, I'm going to turn it off. And you see that bar that it says it's losing communication. So I'm going to let it happen. And I'm going, in the meantime, to change the computer, the now good computer, to the other computer. So I think I can keep you, yep, right there. So I'm going to, everything is now powered off. I'm going to unplug R72. You see my marking here, R72. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to put R93, which is a still. And actually, it says something about 200 off the max. So yeah, he put that in there. In the back, so nothing has changed. I'm going to now move you here. Oops, move you here, and let's power up. Again, no lights, no main power relay, and we already knew that. But I just want to do this again one more time with one good and the other one not good. You see, we're doing exactly the same thing. Let's establish communication. Everything is power up. No communication. So again, Angel and everybody, I can definitely repair these computers 100%. I don't think it's important for me to actually keep you for another test on another computer. I know 100% I can repair them. And if you have any marine, automotive, ACMs, or instrument clusters, I'm your best call. No other company offers the transparency, the knowledge, and the equipment that I have for doing this test. Yes, I'm human and I can fail. I'm not perfect by any means, but I try to minimize the errors, the human error, by being repetitive and gathering all the correct information. And you can see the proof is in the pudding. All right, guys, thank you so much, Angel, for trusting my Salazar Diagnostics. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.